Hi guys, my name's Bradbury. Welcome back to the Pixapro YouTube channel, and for part 3 of the 3D block prop set series we're going to be photographing some bookshelf speakers. We can see the set behind me. So let's go take a look. Here we are guys. Right, so this is the set, a little bit less elaborate than the last one. So I'll explain just quickly what I've got rigged here. We'll bring you in for a bit of a closer look, walk and show around the equipment that we're using for this shot today, and of course we'll get to shooting. So we have the start of the show, if you will, the 3D block prop sets on set there, and we're photographing these Bluetooth bookshelf speakers from iBox, and these are for the studio. They're great. Cool, come with a little remote control as well. Now I've got this all set up on a workhorse with a plank of wood, not a plank of wood, but a sheet of wood down. That's why the black paper's there, just to cover the wood, because it goes very warm and yellow if you get any light bounce on it. And we have some white acrylic or white sheets of plastic just for the base. 2 of them lengthways to give me a bit more run up and foreground to work with rather than placing one horizontally. I was running out of space to work it. Now the camera is set up at a slightly lower angle, looking up to elevate the speakers slightly. The hero shot, if you will. It's like when you take a portrait of someone when you're low down, they're stood up. The hero shot. Anyway, it's on a 70-200 at about 75mm on the 5DSR, running with the ST4 trigger in app mode on the camera, so I can control the power from the tether station with another ST4 from Pixapro as well. Now the main light is a City 300 Pro, which we can see up here. Modeling lights on, working well. And it's modified by a Pixapro 60x90 softbox, double diffused with no grid. So that's the key light, top down, and it's actually placed and boomed just slightly in front of the speakers to light the cones. And we'll see that as we take the shots shortly. Other than that, there's some very simple modification with some bounce cards, one of which is just out of the way at the moment for the sake of the video camera. And then we have 2 lights on the background. Now, you could shoot this without the background lights, absolutely. So this could very easily be a 1-light setup and just use bounce cards, mirrors, silver reflective cards if you wanted to add other elements of lights. The reason why I've added lights to the background is the paper rolls in here take a bit of a hit humidity wise, so they get ripples in them, so it just cleans up and flattens those ripples somewhat. And of course you can then control the brightness and tone of that background. The darker the exposure on the background, more saturated it gets, the brighter, less saturated it gets, for example. So we have 2 different zones. So we have Group A, the City 300 Pro, and Group B for the background lights, just modified by some simple white bounce umbrellas. They're Pixapro Storm 2 400s on the background. And that's pretty much it. So we'll have a closer look at the set, and then we'll get to taking some pictures. And I'm thinking that this will be a focus stack, maybe 2-3 shots, run through Lightroom into Photoshop just to stack them together, just to make sure we've got enough depth of field front to back for the speakers. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so what we have here regarding the 3D block prop sets, we've got some rectangular blocks, these 2 here, and a square block and some steps as well. Steps are holding the remote control. Now the reason why I went with grey here and yellow, and the colours will definitely look different once it's lit with flash. Flash is a lot brighter than the video light at the minute. Is the yellow is just to tie in, not necessarily match, but tie in with the yellow drivers on the speakers, the Kevlar drivers there. And also, if we look grey and yellow, if you take a look at the Pantone website, grey and yellow, I think they call it Ultimate Grey, and I forget the name of the yellow, whoops, anyway. But these are the colours for 2021. So we all want to forget 2020, that's for sure. Move things forward with 2021, so these are the new colours to tie in, and of course tie in with the Kevlar drivers for a new year. So that was the idea behind the colour of the blocks. So what we'll do now, we'll get you guys shifted back and we'll take some pictures of these speakers. Okay, let's take some shots. So make sure the trigger's on. Right, you may hear a little bit of fan noise, so I apologise. This will be laptop, camera, lights, fans and what have you. So, just have a quick look through the viewfinder. I am shooting tethered into Lightroom, sorry for the shot of the back of the bald head. There we go. Compositionally that's fine. There we are. Okay, and I'm going to probably do 3 different areas of focus. So I'm going to focus first on the front of the speaker, on the silver rim. I'm shooting at f16 ISO 100 at 160th of a second, if memory serves, yes. So there's no ambient light being recorded, or if there is, it's very, very little. Certainly at f16 in here, with the video lights and what have you, so that's not an issue there. So what we'll do is we'll run through some shots first, just showing each individual light, if you will, or group of lights. Now on video, obviously video lights, modeling lights are on, you're seeing something totally different, but we'll do background lights first. So we shall turn off the key light, which I need to do on the tether station. So this is now just going to be the background lights, and we'll see this shot come up. Boop, there we go, that's the storms firing, kicking up a storm, and we will go with just the key light. There we go. I probably should have put the main trigger on the camera, never mind. And that is the City 300 Pro firing up there. And what we'll do before we add them combined, we'll add the reflectors in. So put these in here, and these are just white foam core, nothing special to be honest, and they do the job nicely. So, and there goes a laptop fan, true to form. It's like it knows when you're recording video. There we go. Right, so this is now key light and the bounce cards or reflectors. Have I got those positioned right? I think I need to move the one on the right. You want to try and make sure that they match, ideally. So the reflections, which will pick up in the speaker cones, in the silver surround, match on both the speakers as best as possible. And we'll take another shot. There we go. So that's with the reflectors, and we'll switch without, and then with the reflectors again, so they make quite a bit of difference. And now we'll do it all combined. So we will turn on the background lights. Now the power wise, ironically, they're very, very similar power. The background lights are on 1/4 power and 8/10, and the key lights, excuse me for a moment, is 1/4 power and 9/10, so nearly half power. 300 watt light in this one, although distance is different, modifier is different. 400 watts on the background lights. Okay, and we'll do a combined everything together. There we go. Have a quick look at the tether. And we are good on the reflections and reflectors. Awesome. Right, so now I'm going to do a focus stack. Now I won't show you how to do a focus stack in Photoshop, but so this is going to be the focus stack. Now what I normally do is put my hand in front of the lens just to split the frames. So now I'm going to put the lens back on autofocus, and I go 1. And I'm going to focus elsewhere, probably on the remote control. 2, and then somewhere else within the frame. Let's see. Out there. There we go. And that is all 3 shots. And now what we'll do is we will combine those in Photoshop for a focus stack, just to make sure we've got depth of field front to back, and we'll take a look at the final shot and the progress of the stages building up the lights. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If anyone's got any questions about the 3D block prop sets or the equipment that was used, the City 300 Pro, the Storm 400 or Storm 2 400s, etc., or the triggers, drop a comment below. I'll do my best to answer them. Of course, the team over at Pixapro will answer those as well for you. Until next time guys, stay safe. See you soon guys.